Aggregate function. What are these aggregate function? These are employed to implement calculation based upon a particular column. See, you can only deal with a column here right now, single particular column. So these function always return a single value. Please understand, we are dealing with a single column, and this is going to give you a single value. So you can find out the sum of a column, average of a column, maximum in that column, minimum of that column, or count of that column. So if you write this sum, if you have a table called student, and in that table you have, say, a column called fees, it may have, say, 100 records, right? Or say any number of records. So when you say select, now you have to write an aggregate function here, sum. Then you write fees. You want to write the column, because I said only particular column can be handled here. So sum fees from student. So student table, it will check for student table for fees. It will take this column fees, add all the content here, all the column values, and it will return you the final addition. That will give you sum fees as 17,500. If you want to find the average of that fees, the average of these fees will come. Means addition divided by the number of elements, number of rows, that will be divided. Maximum will give you the maximum fees. So you have to write select max fees student from student. So maximum fees is 4,500. If it is there, 4,500 will come. Similarly, you can write minimum. So minimum fees, that is 2,000. The minimum fees is 2,000. So that will come. You can also count how many rows are there. If this is a table, you have to count the rows. So this fees, if this is the one of the column, so how many rows are there, this will give you. So select count fees from student. You can also do using count star. So this will give you all the columns. Again, the result will be same, count equal to 6. So this function is used to find the number of values or number of rows of a particular column. Group by. Group by, SQL group by, this is a clause that will enable SQL aggregate function for grouping of information. That is, group by clause is used in the collaboration with select statement. You want to arrange identical data into groups. So this clause is used whenever aggregate functions by group are required. You want the aggregate function to give you certain result in group manner, you use this group by. Let us see with an example, you will understand more. Display number of students in each class. So what you will do here is select count. What this will do? This will count the rows, number of rows. So select count, comma class from student. So if you have a student table, it will count, first of all count the rows, and you want to group it by class. So first of all, the table has, let me tell you that this table has two columns, two rows having this class as 11. So this 2 will come. Count is 2, class is 11. You want to group by this class. Then again this 12. So this table has 3 rows or 3 tuples with column name as class and the entry as 12. So it will give you 3 and 10 as 1. So it is grouping by this class and it is giving you the result of the aggregate function. Again, if you want to select the class and the sum of the fees, so some fees will come and the grouping is done with the class. So class 11, total sum is 7,000. So the class 11th element rows, the sum of those fees will be given here. Only 11 class, 12 class and 10 class. So this content or this addition will be only for those who are studying in 12th class. Similarly 10. Because we have only one student, so 2,000. Having clause. As we saw that where clause is used only to place condition on the selected column. while this having clause is used to place condition on groups which are created by group by clause. Once you have grouped, once you want or you had the result of group by, now you want to apply condition on these groups. For that we use having, because where clause we cannot use here when the result is given by group by clause. So if we have a table, say student table having number of columns, then you want to display sum of fees which is more than 5000 for each class. You want to display the sum of fees. So this is sum of fees, this is aggregate function. Now this aggregate function has to be applied, and there is a grouping also with respect to class. So sum of fees which is more than 5000 for each class. So this each class means you are grouping by class. And now you want to apply condition that is more than 5000 on this, where we cannot apply in this where clause. Where clause, it is used only to place condition on the selected column, these columns. But you have a aggregate function also. For this you are going to use having. So select class sum fees. This will give you fees grouped by the class from student table, and you are grouping by this is grouping by class. And now you place the condition having this sum fees greater than 5000. So this will give you all the result with respect to class, say 11, 12 and 10. So say just assume that you have 10 class fellow also, or 10 class row also. But because that 10 class has sum of the fees which is less than 5000, that is 2000 if you assume, then only 11 and 12 will come. So now the condition has been applied, only two results are being reflected.